to believe that you can't say that somehow, that that's like too naughty and forbidden. And the effect of making that off limits has been to create a lot of resentment, and I'll say it, hate online, where people feel like they can't just say, like, what the hell is this? You have the former Israeli prime minister living in your house. You have had all this contact with the foreign government. Were you working on behalf of Mossad? Were you running a blackmail operation on behalf of foreign government? By the way, every single person in Washington, D.C. thinks that. I've never met anyone who doesn't think that. I don't know any of them that hate Israel, but no one feels they can say that. Why? And I think the longer that we play along with it, the more subterranean and creepy and hateful the conversation actually becomes. So I think it's better just to say it right out loud. Did this happen? And of course, that question has been asked to the government of Israel, and their answer is...
Hey, it looks like all heck is broken loose in Paris and in France in general. They had to call out 80,000 cops. People, I think, have, you know, when the French have had it with someone, they've had it with someone. And I'm pretty sure they've had it with Macron. Block everything protests sweep across France. Scores arrested.
I blame Candace Owens, Jimmy.
I blame her. Protests staged in cities across France. Police move in to remove blockades. Nearly 300 protesters were arrested. Protesters are angry with planned budget cuts and politicians. Protesters from across France obstructed highways, burned barricades, clashed sporadically with police on Wednesday in a show of anger against Emmanuel Macron, the political elite, and planned spending cuts. Authorities had to deploy more than 80,000 security personnel, otherwise known as cops, I think, across the country, removing barriers and containing unrest as tensions flared in several places. In Paris, riot police periodically used tear gas to disperse crowds. Almost 200 people were detained at the capital. The Block Everything movement, a broad expression of discontent that has spread on social media, sprang up online in May among right-wing groups, but has since been co-opted by the left and the far left. So it seems like everybody's coming together. That's what it seems like, to block everything and get rid of the Macron. Block Everything movement. Thousands of French people are protesting on the streets of Marseille, France. Their goal, cripple the economy and get President Emmanuel Macron out. So that's what you have to do. When voting doesn't work, you have to figure out a way to put a pain into the capitalists. That's like what the truckers did in Canada during COVID. They figure out a way to exert economic pain. And so that's what it looks like. Look at this. Look what's happening. Hey, let's see if there's music to this. No. So this is happening. So things are happening.
Boy, who could have thought that raising taxes and lowering services and mass migration could have? I mean, holy shit! It's this intentional that they're like, hey, we're just going to demolish all of our. We're going to do this. Everybody lives together, and we're going to dissolve all your national identity and all that to the point where it stokes up nothing but rage. And then as people complain, we're going to tell you to go fuck yourself. No, we're going to gaslight you.
So stuff is getting real in France. The unrest added to the political turmoil on a day when conservative Sébastien Lecornu took office as President Emmanuel Macron's new prime minister. So that was also a trigger. After his predecessor was ousted by Parliament over his unpopular plans for sharp budget cuts. It's the same SHIT. It's the same. It's Macron who's the problem, not the ministers, said Fred, a CGT union official at the Paris Public Transport Company. He has to go. In Paris, students and school-age youngsters swelled the protesters' ranks. Nearly 300 protesters were arrested across the country, though many rallies were peaceful. The movement reflects anger with what protesters say is a dysfunctional ruling elite bent on austerity. The discontent deepened after the last government proposed cuts of 44 billion euros, or $52 billion, in government spending. France to provide 2 billion euros in extra military aid to Ukraine. Oh, isn't that something? No money for, isn't that something? Outside the Gare du Nord train station in Paris, hundreds of youth chanted anti-Macron slogans. One carried a placard with tricolor flag and a slogan, "The Rich Elite's Republic." "We've come to make some noise," said Sorbonne student Emma, whatever her name is. "We want them to know we can't take this anymore. We want another type of government." So this is what happens when voting doesn't work. The Block Everything movement has drawn comparisons with the Yellow Vest Rebellion that erupted in 2018-2019 over taxes and the cost of living and forced Macron to make policy concessions costing billions of euros. However, sociologist Antoine Bristelli at the Jean Jaurès Foundation think tank noted a generational divide between those two protests. In the Yellow Vest movement, we had a rather vulnerable France that was struggling to make ends meet. A lot of workers, a lot of retirees. Whereas here in the terms of age, it's many young people. They have a certain vision of the world where there is more social justice, less inequality, and a political system that functions differently, better. So here it is. There's more. Breaking at this time, absolute chaos is erupting across France as thousands of protesters flood the streets, clashing with police and rioting in opposition to the government's economic policies. So we already saw that. We don't have to see it again. Block Everything protest in France has started. Red are block. So these are the red are blocking points, control roads, ports, and bridges. There's the red. The blue are strikes at refineries, distribution centers. See the blue. Yellow are protests, and the purple are violent acts. Black are sabotage acts. So, a lot happening. A lot happening in Paris, France right now. I will be surprised if Macron can survive this. What do I know about France? But we'll see. It's good to see. I love the French. Because they like to riot, they like to protest, they have strong worker protection, stuff like that. And so
they chopped royalties' heads off a long time ago.
Yeah, they chopped off they chopped off the royalties' heads with the guillotine. So I don't think that they've lost that spirit. So bravo to France and keep going. That's what I say. I say keep going. All right, let's take a break and we'll be right back. If you thought Bernie Sanders was a garbage person, you ain't seen nothing yet. Watch this.
President Trump, who I don't usually agree with, called COVID vaccines, quote, one of the greatest miracles in the history of modern-day medicine that saved tens of millions of lives worldwide. Scientific community agrees with Trump. Lancet study found that it prevented.
Bernie Sanders has learned nothing about COVID. Bernie Sanders has not learned that they lied about the virus, that Fauci lied to Congress about funding the creation of the virus, that the virus came from a Wuhan lab, not a wet market, that they called you a racist if you said so. He doesn't know that they lied about herd immunity. He doesn't know that they lied about natural immunity. He doesn't know they lied about the vaccine stopping contraction or transmission. They don't know that they lied about lockdowns. They don't know. He doesn't know that they lied about masks. He doesn't know that they lied about everything in the world to do with COVID. He doesn't know that. He still thinks it's fantastic and a big success.
Almost 20 million deaths during their first year of use. Secretary Kennedy, are President Trump and the medical community right, or do you still believe that the COVID vaccine was, quote, the deadliest vaccine ever made?
Bernie, did you get your 14th booster? Because that's what you're supposed to be on right now. Oh, at some point you stopped? At some point you stopped listening to everybody? You stopped listening to all the medical organizations and the CDC and Fauci and the FDA and even Chris Cuomo? You don't even listen to Chris Cuomo?
No, first of all, I didn't say that. I said that in terms of affairs reports a while ago. I said today, I think that President Trump should get the Nobel Prize.
So who's right? Is Trump in the medical community right, or are you right?
President Trump did an extraordinary piece of leadership.
Is he right or wrong? Did COVID save millions of lives?
I'm asking you a nuanced question and demand a yes or no answer, which does not apply, but I'm doing it forcefully because I'm revealing that I have actually been merely a petty bully this entire time. Yes or no? Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy. That's me, Jimmy Dore. That's right. I'm the host of the Jimmy Dore Show. Did you know that? We know you're proud to be a fan and a supporter of the show, but Do your friends, your family, your neighbors, and random strangers you pass on the street, do they know? Maybe not. And just as you like to keep informed by watching the Jimmy Dore Show, you can inform all those important and not so important people in your life about your love of the show with one of these. It's the authentic and branded Jimmy Dore Show t-shirts. We've got the classic logo, Jimmy Dore, and we also have the Jimmy Dore Show pop art. Look at that. Look at that. Nice, huh? And we also have one of my favorites. It's the Frederick Douglass quote. I would unite with anybody to do right and with nobody to do wrong. It's all available now at our website. Just go to jimmydore.com, then shop the merch, and you'll see there and many more options. And just click on mugs. Also, how about mugs? We got the mugs. Made in America. This is one of my favorites. It says "Vaxxed and Worried." Nice. We also have
that'll go over big with the guests.
This is a great mug. It says "Made in America" on the bottom. Jagoff, very thick, nice handle, thick glass. I love this one. Plus, we have stuff like this over there.
Mouse pads. We got your Jimmy Dore Show stickers and logos, and we got your what do you call those? Coasters. Look at that. Look at this. Coasters, more coasters. So what are you waiting for? Get your Jimmy Dore Show t-shirt, mugs, coasters. Go get them today, jimmydore.com.